Oh yeah, third wrestling video in a row, baby. Yeah, that's right. 3 videos in a row talking about wrestling. How long's it been since I've done that? Well, you know me. I just like to talk about wrestling when I want to talk about it. And now something's come along to inspire me to talk about it again. And not necessarily a topic within like what's happening in wrestling in a moment. More like some actual free thoughts. And yeah, this is a response to my good friend Tristram, who has done a video about like some WWE thoughts, as well as asking the questions, why do you watch wrestling, and what's your top 5 favourite finishers. Yeah, go and watch his video and go and subscribe to him, because I think he should be doing this kind of stuff a lot more. And if people subscribe to him and comment on his videos, I'm sure that'll be a good incentive to do it. And it'll also be nice for someone I know personally in real life to keep doing this, because there's not a lot of like good wrestling talk at the moment, really. Sure, there's like people I watch like, every now and again, like mostly Wrestling Jesus just for the laughs. I watched a few of Truth Slayer's reviews every now and again, and I watched like just a few other random reviews around about the place too. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have the community going, and especially if there's someone I know in real life doing it too, it's also good. But yeah, why I watch wrestling? Oh man, well, let's think from the start, shall we? My first recollection of like coming into like some being like focused on something wrestling worthy was when I was at primary school. There was a kid that had the Demolition Smash Mattel WWF action figure, and I looked at it and thought, what is this? This looks amazing. Looks like some amazing crazy face painted action figure. Some action mad evil hero thing. I was amazed. And then people brought in trading cards and stickers of WWF, and I thought, oh wow, these characters are awesome. Ultimate Warrior, he looks like a fucking beast. And Hogan, obviously the hero of the bunch and stuff. So yeah, I checked all those out. I went on mad about wrestling. It was a big craze. I think it was around 1990. There was like 3 big crazes that year. There's WWF and like American wrestling. There's the Simpsons, and there's the Turtles. I mean, some Turtles and the wrestling obviously came before, but like to hit like a little place in southwest England, things take longer, especially in those days without the internet and without stuff on TV or whatever. And like that's kind of like when Sky was taking off as well, because Sky had been around for a few years. I believe WWF was shown on there like probably in '88 it started out there. But yeah, but even before then there was like World of Sport, which is the British wrestling with Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks and Kendo Nagasaki and all that. And my dad like told me a bit about that. He wasn't a fan, but my granddad was. My granddad was like taught a judo class many years ago, and he also had like a book about wrestling and stuff from the 50s. It like had a lot about like Lou Thesz and all those kind of people, and you know, all the like classic shooters and stuff. And I'll have to show it on video one day. It's quite interesting, yeah. But I'm get out of topic here. Yeah, like the first kind of like American wrestling I watched, I believe, was like an NWA program that my dad recorded late at night off ITV, and it had like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson on it, and Sting and Luger, a lot of those stars from there, and I thought, wow, these people are amazing. And one guy that stood out unbelievably was Psycho Sid Vicious. He had a squash match, and I thought this guy was a fucking giant, and he like did the power bomb on someone, and I was just like wowed by it. Like, God, these larger than life characters are amazing. And then I got my first taste of like WWF a little bit later. Actually, I think it was Triss that got like Survivor Series 88, and I got Royal Rumble 89 on VHS, and yeah, we loved it. Yeah, I've known Triss for years, like, but yeah, we loved it. And also, like, got to see a bit of WrestleMania 8, although that was probably years after. I don't know. But yeah, through those years, I was crazy on wrestling. I brought lots of magazines, not just like the WWF and WCW magazines, but also like the PWI mags, like the Bill Apter stuff, and also the precursor to Power Slam, Superstars of Wrestling. And that kind of, that was the first thing that like kind of opened my eyes up a bit to it as well, because it like said, like, for SummerSlam 92 it was Crush versus Repo Man, and it said they were former tag team partners, and I was like, what? Really? And then it goes on to say Repo Man was Smash, which I actually didn't believe till like years later, funnily enough. Kayfabe was rife in the 90s, you gotta remember that, especially if you were like little as well and you didn't have many people smartering you up. A lot of people, well, I think it was probably around 93 that like a lot of people were saying, oh, it's fake, man, and whatever, and you know, you should be able to see this, like, with the characters that are there, and that it's like all pre-planned and they don't really hate each other, well, not as far as you know, but I kind of like refused to believe it till quite a long way into like my wrestling fandom. After like I kind of stopped watching for a bit, like sometime in 93 I think it was, just after Bret Hart got the title. I love Bret Hart, but yeah, it's just like the craze of like wrestling kind of died down in this country around then. But then I kind of like picked up and got into it around like early 96 I think, and yeah, it was like around the time Ultimate Warrior came back and Shawn Michaels won the title. I thought, wow, like, new people, this is interesting. And yeah, and from there on in, I've like kind of kept an interest in it. I've had like the odd like few years and times when I haven't watching, but through like buying Power Slam magazine and that, I've kept up with like kind of what's going on and stuff. And I had like university, I didn't have a lot of like time for wrestling then, but like would tune in every now and again, because I also had another friend, Raven, that I like used to go around his house, and like they had the wrestling channel on Sky, and like this showed like stuff like TNA and ROH, which is obviously like really good coverage like for them in the UK, and it's a shame like the wrestling channel turned a bit dire and then eventually went off air on Sky, because if I had Sky I'd be so into that, would have been so into that, it's great. Yeah, so then I kind of like knew like there's more to wrestling than like the WWF, WWE. I kind of knew that anyway through like the Apter mags and like WCW and NWA and stuff, but I didn't really have it available to me. And then I got like the internet, I got broadband around early 2007. I kind of started like regularly watching wrestling, like WWE and TNA more so, and like tiny bits of ROH as well on the wrestling channel that my mate would record. And that like really got me back into it, and I still am into it. And the internet has like really held my interest in it, because now I have like wrestling radio shows like In Your Head Online that really keep my interest in it, because I want to see what those guys think of all the stuff every week. And they're just funny guys, they're not like some kind of anal reviewers. They're just like funny guys that like are pretty cool and laid back, like watch the wrestling, just like a lot of people on here. And I like look forward to like hear what they thought about it every week. And yeah, like the product, like the whole wrestling in general hasn't been that great since then. I've probably like picked a real dark age to like get really back into it. But yeah, I mean You know, I have other stuff around, like what's on TV that keeps me interested, like a lot of wrestling books I've caught up on, like all the WrestleCrap stuff, Jericho's book, Bret Hart's book, you know, and still buy the magazines, and yeah, and like there's just lots of more choice like out there now. Like the internet is so like easy to use with sites like YouTube and Daily Motion, and watching like a lot of wrestlers and shoot interviews as well, like just talk out a character is like great and something that kind of keeps my interest in wrestling. And it all boils down to what Trish said in the video. It's a good part of escapism and entertainment. It doesn't matter that it's like pre-planned. It's like just great athletic entertainment, and I get a kick from seeing like good athletic contests, although there's not so much of it in WWE. There are some great wrestlers there that I still enjoy watching a hell of a lot. And TNA, oh my, you know what it's like. If you're a regular viewer of me, you know my interest has totally waned on TNA, and it's a shame. And ROH I check out every now and again, it's great, and I do sometimes watch a bit of other stuff on here. Like I check out matches from Japan in the 90s, like stuff with Jushin Liger and Great Muta and that. And I still watch a lot of old wrestling. I've still like backed up on a lot of old wrestling to watch from tapes I've acquired and that, and it's great. It's just a great outlet for escapism and entertainment, and it's like a big variety show, isn't it? And that's what I get out of wrestling that I don't get out of any other sport or like hardly any other TV program, is the variety of it. You know, sometimes there's stuff that make you think, oh my god, and sometimes there's stuff that just wows you, and that's what I love about wrestling and why I continue to watch it. This video's gone on way too long already, so I'm going to get into some finishers. I don't think I can think of a top 5, but some that come off the top of my head would definitely be the Stone Cold Stunner. That just had like the BAM! The impact there, and it just like brought an excitement to like the finish of Austin's matches every time. It was brilliant. I'd say I like the Shooting Star Press. Obviously, I used to like Mark Miro doing it in the day. I liked Paul London doing it, Kidman, and Evan Bourne now. It's just great high fly move. I love moves like that. I like the Bryan Danielson used to do the cattle mutilation in ROH. I thought that just looked awesome, even though realistically it's probably him putting more effort into his abs than like the opponent on the floor with his shoulders bending inwards, but it still looked pretty fucking good anyway. I'm going to throw in a tag team one. I like the Doomsday Device, Legion of Doom. Thought it was classic. Don't know how many that is. That's 4. Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar's the F5. That was brilliant. Always looked fucking lethal and brutal when he did that. And I also like the Jackhammer by Goldberg as well. I like the power finishing moves a lot for some reason. And as much as I like submissions as well, I like the Texas Cloverleaf by Dean Malenko. And yeah, there's some finishing moves that I like. So go and check out Tristram's vids. Subscribe to him. Comment on this one, on what I've said. And also, if you're on Facebook and you like the music that I've posted here, join my music page, Carnivore Music. And that's your lot from me. This has gone on longer than I wanted it to. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and please comment. Cheers.